Donk Nation, Jackson, Janet's greetings and welcome to Daily Dust Donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you the first bug cap of the season. We got Bug here. We'll take a little bit of talk about the domination the Steelers seem to have over the Browns in the regular season with their 23-9 win this year. Of course, not losing a regular season game dating back to like 2003. And just get Bug's general thoughts on the season so far. So, Bug, thoughts on the Steelers win over the Browns? What you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like?
I liked the offense. They did really good this game, and the defense holding it, blocking the ball.
Blocking the ball. Well, they did bat down a few passes. Well, I'm going to assume you're talking about there. Yep. Steelers right now in a pretty commanding division lead at 4-1. The only loss being to the Seahawks. You know, good start for the Steelers there, Bug. Anything that you want to talk about from that perspective?
Nope.
No? Okay, well, that's fair. Do you even remember the games we had out there? Like beating the Patriots, losing to the Seahawks, beating the Jets to start the year in a game that had both teams showing a lot of offense. Beating Minnesota and Ireland, being the first team to have a regular season win in Ireland.
Yeah, that was actually quite entertaining.
Yeah, I agree so. Let's go back to the Browns game then. Bug, what was the play that most excited you from the whole thing?
On defense, like the whole defense alignment, I was just going to sack the QB.
I thought for sure you were going to say the touchdown to DK Metcalf from the earlier hearing you scream. When we get to it, I'll break things down here a little bit. I thought the Steelers played well in all facets of the game. Of course, I mean 23-9 is pretty solid. The offense did what they did, which was score really well in the red zone. The field was kind of bad, led to the injury of Miles Killebrew, which isn't good. You didn't get to see him go down, but it looked like a knee injury. That's probably the season ending for our special teams ace. Boswell misses a field goal because the field's kind of shoddy, but they're replacing it, so hopefully it'll get better. Let's start the first drive. Opening play action play to Washington for a 32 or 36-yard gain down the sideline. He fumbled it out of bounds, but that's not a big deal. Do you like that play to start?
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
Of course, that led to a field goal. That's the lead for the Steelers. Williams, our punt returner, had a huge return that was negated by a penalty by Jabril Peppers. Good to see some explosiveness out of the punt returner, but you can't be making penalties on those plays.
Yeah, you can't.
Then we get to the offensive line was struggling a little bit early in the game, getting the run blocking going. The pass pro was a little sketchy. And Jalen Ramsey has a big sack. And about two plays, the next play after Jalen Ramsey's big sack, the Browns player, wide receiver, breaks free. But luckily, he was ruled that his forward momentum was down. The refs had blown the whistle to blow the play dead. That was good for the Steelers, which led to the Steelers being up 3-0 after the first quarter.
Yep.
Yeah, you like the Ramsey sack? As Jalen Ramsey said, I'm going to tell my kids someday I played in a game with both Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, and I outsacked those two guys combined. A pretty impressive thing from a cornerback who, over his 10-year career, only had 3 sacks coming into today, or Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
And he got 2 on the game. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
We get to the second quarter. My notes are there was a meh drive that the Steelers kicked a field goal, 6-0. Another meh drive, the Steelers kick another field goal, 9-0. And then, of course, predictable, the Steelers go to prevent right before half, and the Browns get a field goal. Luckily, held them to a field goal there, but I don't understand why they go to they're dominating the Browns, and then you try to give them the potential to get momentum going into half by playing this prevent that never works. It always gives up a field goal, if not a touchdown at the end of halves.
Yep.
Just the same old, same old. Anything to say about that other than yep?
Yep.
Oh, okay. We start the second half. Watt's offsides negates a turnover that was caused by himself, so he cost himself a sack by being offsides. He was offsides quite a bit in the game. Kind of seemed like TJ and the refs were not agreeing on what the line of scrimmage was.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Then we have out there, we're getting Corliss Waitman gets run into. That leads to a big first down for the Steelers. For some reason, the Steelers are a team that wants to use a tight end on a jet sweep. Not normally a wide receiver, but a tight end on the jet sweep here. In this case, Johnny Smith for 9 yards. That's kind of unique.
Yep.
Anything to say about it?
Usually teams do not use that kind of play.
No, they use that kind of play, just not the tight end to do it. Normally it's a fast wide receiver. We had Aaron Rodgers underthrow DK Metcalf for what would have been a 40-yard touchdown, but that's okay because that's the drive he ended up throwing the 23-yard touchdown to DK. Do you want to break down that play?
DK gets the ball, waiting for a touchdown.
Yeah, and that's certainly what happened. We have Herbig dropping what would have been a pick six. I mean, he read the play perfectly, gets out there and shows why he's a linebacker, I guess. And then the Steelers go into the best defense we have is when the other team doesn't catch the football, kind of momentum, same old thing we've done for a while.
Yep.
Good to see, I guess, that they dropped it. The Browns end up with a field goal on the drive that Herbig dropped the pick six. It's now 16-6. That ends the third quarter. Well, actually, the missed touchdown wasn't the DK one. That was the Connor Hayward touchdown. You remember that play? Aaron Rodgers rolling out right, telling Connor Hayward, go left, and then just whizzes the ball in there?
Yeah, I remember that play.
Yeah, that was a heck of a one. I had the wrong passing touchdown there. That was the one that got a 16. Because the DK touchdown started the fourth quarter. We already broke that one down. What did you see on the Connor Hayward touchdown?
Connor Hayward, Aaron Rodgers telling Connor Hayward to go left and then threw the ball and touchdown.
Yeah, he showed some vintage Rodgers arm strength there. Fourth down, Browns have someone who's wide open. Of course, they get the first down because the Steelers on fourth down leaving people open, letting teams convert. It's still a problem, but this game we played really well, so we're not going to sit on that too much. The refs were making some weird calls out there on all sides of the football. Browns kick a field goal, it becomes 23-9, and then there's a bunch of nothing hoopla, a little bit of a Browns drive that leads to turnover on downs. Steelers drive that leads to Boswell falling down while trying to kick a field goal essentially and missing it. But end of the day, Steelers 23, Browns 9. Offense did more than enough. Defense did more than enough. It's the kind of performance you expect to see at home by a good team against a bad team. And you pair that with the way these NFC or AFC teams, have been losing, including Buffalo. We play the Colts. The Steelers really have a chance to be in the driver's seat here right now, Bug, the way of things have gone through the first quarter of the season.
Yep.
Anything you'd like to talk about?
We are playing the Bengals on Thursday.
Who do you think's going to win that one?
Pittsburgh.
No, that's fair. Do you have a score you think it's going to be?
Let's see. 35-0.
35-0. I'd love to see that. That'd be beyond awesome to see. Any shout outs from this week's game, Bug?
Almost a whole defense for making plays, and Aaron Rodgers for completing a bunch of passes.
That's a fair thing to see. Or to say, of course, the Steelers had pretty solid run game running for over 100 yards. I think they kept the Browns off the sack sheet, which is really a hard thing to do against that Cleveland defense. Yeah, there's no sacks for the Browns. So offensive line did pretty darn solid, and that one's the way I'm going to end this Bugcap. Now, I got to let you know I'm the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey on Twitch and Twitter. Your daily dose of Donkey Gingers, where you get this awesome content. We'll try to make sure we have time for the Bugcap every week from now on. And maybe Bug will get a little more into it where he's the one running the show and I'm just giving the color commentary rather than the play-by-play, I guess is the way to say it. He's Bugboo. He ain't got no socials. He's a youngster and don't need to be affected by all that crazy stuff by this point in his life. He's got plenty of years for that to happen. But Bugboo, anything you want to say to the people before we let him go?
Wave them black and yellow ties. Let's go Steelers.